Hello and welcome to Rita's Paper Motif. I'm Rita, and today I wanted to share a card I made using some of our product from the online exclusives and some beautiful designer series paper. So let's go ahead and get started. Now before we get started, I just wanted to um, assure you that it's perfectly okay to give a thumbs up if you like the content. And then if you're watching here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that bell icon so you'll be notified of any new content. And then if you're here watching on Facebook, please consider following me here on the Facebook. So I wanted to share with you this a beautiful designer series paper. It's called Florals in Bloom. And I just wanted to share some of the sheets of the paper here. So, somebody once said to me, do you think we have too many florals? And I had to step back and think before I responded because it can never be too many florals for me. I love flowers. And then as I've been scrap booking, I think sometimes about, oh, I wish I had this, oh, I wish I had that. So I kind of can get where maybe that question would come up. But I do want to say that this designer series paper is exceptional. I just love it. I like that the big flowers because if you are scrapbooking, you could definitely fussy cut these out and use them in your clusters. And then there are the great colors. We have some great colors. Some of our new in colors are in here. Um, the timid tiger is in here, the cloud cover. Then of course we have those purples that I love, and then some of the greens like the shy shamrock and those kinds are in here, and also even some blue. So pretty much any color you like, it seems like you would find that in here. But definitely liking this designer series paper. I just want to, now I've cut into some of these, as you can tell, but I did want to show them to you. So let's just I'll turn them over on the other side. Here's that strawberry slush, and I'm really liking that, really liking it. So strawberry slush, and then that's really cute too. That's great as a bottom layer of a card, and even in our scrapbooking, that is great too. So I like that. And then, of course, this is probably my least favorite, but I can see how it'd be great for a scrapbook page layout. And then, of course, there's this that I love and this that I love. And there is one that must be missing because I don't see that back part. Let me see. Have I not shown it to you? Here it is. I didn't show it to you. It's the one I cut up. So then this is the paper that we're going to be using today, or at least it's the inspiration, I should say, of the card that we're going to be making today. And then on the back is that beautiful cloud cover. So this is just a quick reminder that if there is a side of the designer series paper that you're not super fond of, just turn it over and see what you see on the other side, because most of our designer series paper, if not all of it, has two sides, and one is usually a print or theme, and the other is something that you can use all the time. So that's this piece of designer series paper, or this sheet, is exactly what is the inspiration for the card we're going to make. And so the card we're going to make is this card right here. I am really enamored with the dies that come in the Impressions Abloom. I love, because it's new and because it's fresh, I really like these two dies that can act as a frame. So that's where we get the, framed, and then the layer here. And so out of any color, I can't believe that they wouldn't be attractive. But then we also have all of the dies here as well. And then so I like those two dies from this. I've used these circles for more than just the circles with flowers. And then these little dies right here, they're like three little flowers. that you can, I'll put it here, you probably can see it better there. So 3 little flowers that helped me to create these. You can use them instead of sequins or adhesive backed dots. So I like that. So yeah, so those, so I'm really getting my uh, money's worth, I should say, out of this, these dies, and I love them. And then there's some dies in this stamp set, which is Pretty Florals. That's what goes along in the suite with the designer series paper. But what I like about this is that these dies will cut out some of the designer series paper, like those little yellow flowers that you would see in one of the sheets. These cut them out. And then these also. And the other part that I really like is that these also will cut out your stamped images. So if you stamp them, and I'm going to show you that today, then you definitely can cut them out. And I also like these dies because this is something that I want to show you that I did. I cut these out, die cut them, and then I took the where is that part? I've got these kind of messed up. Oh, so I cut the pink part right here out of with this die, and you can see that it kind of embosses or gives the definition. And then this is out of Pretty in Pink, and then out of Petunia Pop I use this set of dies, and it cuts out the middle part of the flower, and so it just makes it more realistic. And so I did do that out of the pinks. That's what I was doing when I was experimenting with this card. But you can use any colors that you fancy. Um, and it just is so nice, really nice. All right, let's get on with our card. So we're going to be using, yikes, I almost had a disaster here. We're going to be using Blackberry Bliss, Garden Green, and Petunia Pop as our main colors today. We do have a choice if we wanted to use some fresh freesia, but I think that probably not. So those are the colors that we're going to use today. And we're going to begin with a half a sheet of the Blackberry Bliss. So this is an 8.5 side. This is half of the 11-inch side. And then I just scored it in the middle at 4 1/4. And that's going to make our card base. And we're going to take our bone folder and just secure that card. And so now we have that. And then I did take my handy dandy trimmer, and I took a piece of designer series paper. I'll show it to you. I've already cut it. But this was 4 by 5.5, and then I just cut it kind of on the diagonal, and that's going to fit diagonally on our card. This is the layer that it's going to fit on, and we'll do that in a minute. And this happens to be 4 by 5.5, 5 1/4, I'm sorry. And then of course we have a piece of white that is going to be on the inside, which is also 4 by 5. And so we're going to work with those. Now let's get started. I am using my adhesive of choice, which is my Stampin' Seal. So to start out, I want to take this part that I've cut in a diagonal, and remember that you can find the measurements. It's not posted yet, but it will be in a couple of days. You can find the measurements and directions also at ritaspapermotif.com. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay this on here as straight as possible. And it's going to give that diagonal look. Now we have some sticking over the sides, right? That's not an issue. We're just going to take our scissors, and we're just going to clip that off so that we don't have anything hanging over the side. Whoops, I didn't get it all, sorry. You can use your cardstock, the Pretty in Pink cardstock, as a guide. And then we're going to go ahead and layer this pretty in pink right there on the front of our card. Now this is an A2 size card. So the front part measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm trying to make sure that this is an even margin all the way around. There we go. So now we have that base part left or done of our card. Now I don't like to leave my edges raw like this unless I'm going to do something with them. So here's what I did. I took a piece of petunia pop, and this is about 1/4 of an inch, and I just cut a strip, and we're going to adhere it right there just to kind of finish off that diagonal. So let's go ahead and do that. Now for that, I am going to bring out my liquid glue, and I'm going to just go ahead and just put a little. Kind of shaky when you're doing this on video, of course. So let's just fit it flush with that layer right there. And then again, we're going to cut off excess right here. Just like that. And now we have, oh, I'm going to clean it up a little. I don't want it sticking out from that pink layer. Let's see here. All right. All right, so now we have that part of the card done. Now I want to create this part. And so what I did is I took that die from the Impression Abloom, and I'll show you which one that I took. So you'll see 2 dies. One die has like some texture around the side. That's for the border. And I did go ahead and cut one of those already. Sorry, I have some messies here. So that's from this one, and it did cut out the middle. And you can use that middle part for your little flowers if you want, or you know, whatever else you might want. But don't throw it away because, well, I don't throw my blackberry bliss away because it's one of my favorite colors, and I will find something to use this for. And then this die that just has like the single cut line will create the inside like that. And then that's how I created those 2 parts. So let's go ahead and put those together. Now with that, I am going to go ahead and use my liquid glue for that, because this, I don't want to take a chance that this doesn't fit completely on there. And so I'll just take, and I'm just going to take some glue. And for me, this is always like kind of a challenge because I tend to get heavy-handed with the glue. And too much glue is definitely too much glue. So just a little bit, dot, dot, you don't need a lot. And if you do something like I just did there, try to spread it so you don't have globs. Also, what I'll do sometimes is I'll just get out my silicone mat and a sponge, and I'll put a little dab of liquid glue on the mat and use the sponge to sponge this. So I think I have enough adhesive right now. So let's just go ahead and put this on here. I should grab my silicone mat though, because I don't want to get this glue on my paper surface here. So the good thing about the silicone mat is that glue, whether it's liquid glue or your stamp and seal or even hot glue, will not stick on this. And so if you get glue on here, you can just kind of wait till it dries, and then you can just rub it off. All right, I should have done something before I did that. I should have done my stamping on here, because if it doesn't look good, now I don't have an option. to stamp on the other side. But let's go ahead and be brave, and we're going to stamp in our green. We're going to stamp the little stems here, and those stems come from the Pretty Florals. And so here it is right here, and let's just use some garden green. So tap, tap, tap. I do need to test this. Definitely want to test this. I'm glad I tested it because I didn't get even glue on it. All right, here we go now. And so I'm going to put it, like I said, I have it right here, right at the base here. So I'll try to move it up. I hope I wasn't out of line there, and this is kind of scary. Let's see here. Okay, so we have that, and we're going to pull that up. There we go. And then I want to take some Petunia Pop, and I want to take, let's see here. I want to take this stamp, this one, which is the, what did I just do with my, oh, here they are. I'm falling apart. So I want it, they are this stamp right here. So it's going to cover more area. And I'm going to use, like I said, that Petunia Pop. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. I want to line it up so that I have a flower here, flower there. And let's see what happens here. If you line it up just right, you can do it. I'm kind of nervous. Okay, there we go. And then, while that's kind of taking a moment to dry, I am going to go ahead, I should say, and I'm going to stamp those stamps again because I want, let's see, I'm going to stamp it on here because I am going to want to cut those out and put it on top to give it some dimension. So let's go ahead and do that again. So we'll tap, tap. We just need 3. So we went ahead and stamped that. Now let's take our Blackberry Bliss. And now we're going to stamp the veins. So this part of the stamp that is right here, it are like the veins or the middle part of the flower. So let's go ahead and let's stamp them first on here. And I don't know that you have to be like, just want to get them on the flower, right? So you can see what it does. It gives it that definition. And let's go ahead and do that now on here also. This needs to be a little more accurate because we already have that flower stamped. Whoa. And there we go with that. We're done with our Blackberry Bliss. Now I want to take the sentiment, and I'm going to show you what I did. I took the sentiments from Impression Abloom. I took the thanks and so very much, and I put it on one block. They are 2 separate stamps, but I put it on one block, and I am going to want to stamp it together. And I am going to test this stamp because I want to make sure that they're straight. And I didn't get enough ink, so that's good to, that's why it's always good to, there we go, to stamp, to check that stamp, because I already put this frame around here, and now I don't have an opportunity to flip that around if I don't like that stamp. And so I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it right here. Okay, there we go. And when you use a block that is long with this, you want to be careful you don't rock it, because you'll get ink off the sides that maybe you don't want. All right, so then what I would do is I would fussy cut these, but I've already cut some. Or you don't have to fussy cut, because we also have those dies that you can use. So I've already, here they are right here. So all you would have to do is, that's the wrong one, sorry. Here we go. So you would just put the dies on, and then you, well, I have them upside down, that's why they're not fitting. So you would just put the dies on here, and then go ahead and run them through your die machine. And here we already have some, so you can see them here. We're going to put these on top here. So it gives it some definition, and gives it a little bit of weight. So let me just go ahead and I'm going to use my liquid glue, and you don't need very much, because we're just putting this on there to give it some dimension, is what I was trying to say. All right, today's been one of those days for me, I will say. All right, and there we go. Let's see here. I'm trying to line it up as best I can. I'm not sure that it has to be 100% accurate, but look at what I have here. I have a little bit of a lighter, oh no, it's right here. I thought I lost it. All right, here we go with this. And what I like about the liquid glue is, especially when I'm doing videos, I have a little bit of wiggle room. So if I'm not sure that it's on there exactly, I can still, you know, move it around. All right, and so just like this one, we're going to go ahead and adhere our framed sentiment strip. And we're going to use some dimensionals to adhere that. And I am going to use some large dimensionals. And I do want to just say that, you know, when I use my dimensionals, a couple of things I keep in mind is that my card is going to go through that machine at the Postal Service. And so I want to make sure that whatever I'm adhering with the dimensionals is secure. And our dimensionals are very, they will stick things down, but I just want to, in my mind, I want to be 100% sure. So you don't have to use as many dimensionals as I'm using right now. It's totally up to you. But I do want to, because I want to make sure that I don't have to think about it. And this card is going to go to someone very special. So I want it to be special when it arrives. So I've gotten all the backing off of those dimensionals, and I'm going to go ahead and lay my card down. I do have to lift it up so I can see what I'm doing here. And I am going to cut off this right up here. I didn't, there we go, much better. Let's see here. Okay, we're going to leave it. All right, so we have that, and now we're going to take all those little stars that I die cut, and we're just going to put them on there. Now you can see on the first one I used a 5, and that's because I like to use odd numbers, and I'm grabbing these over here just because they kind of fell over there when I dropped the card. But all right, so we're going to take that, we're going to take our take and pick tool that has a putty tip. It's just very useful for picking up those small pieces. And then we're just going to put our little flowers wherever. And again, we're not wanting to use very much glue. I see I used too much, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick that one up if I can. And I'm going to put it somewhere else. Actually, I'm not going to use it because it has glue on the top, and that will not be good. So then I can put this back over here. It doesn't have a lot of glue on it that's oozing out, so that's good. And then maybe I'll put one here. I just need a dot. If you have those, that little precision glue bottle, that's good too. I'm just going to go ahead and put these down. There we go. All right, so now we have the card that's fairly done. Now what I am going to also use is this ribbon. It's called 1/4 inch white ribbon. And I want to put some ribbon on here because I just feel like there's something that's missing. So I've already tied a bow, and I'm going to take my glue dots. I'm going to put a glue dot on the back here. Let's see, here's one. And I have a little bit of glue on my finger and it's sticking to everything. And I'm just going to put the bow right here. So now I have a bow on there. And then the inside, I've cut that too. And that, oh, I need to cut it. I guess I didn't cut it. So let's go ahead and cut that. We're going to cut that to be 4 by 5 1/4. Now, I'm not going to put a message in it right now, but you could use any of these messages. We put on the top, thanks so very much. We could put, I appreciate you. That would be nice to put on there. You could put whatever it is you want. You could put there. So let's go ahead and get this on the inside. And you can also decorate on the inside if you wanted to use some of that pretty designer series paper. You could, if you want to use a strip of that. And we're just going to go ahead and get this in as straight as possible. And now we have the inside of our card. So we've made a quick and easy, nice card. Now you can definitely change any of these out. You could change you know, any of the flowers on the designer series paper that you want to. You can definitely make it your own. You could also put the diagonal up here if you wanted to. So there's just a variety of things that you can do to make this card work for you. So I want to thank you for visiting me here at Rita's Paper Motif and sharing your time with me. And I'll see you again. Bye now.